Hi everyone, I'm Jerry and was just sent this really cool 50-inch electric fireplace that produces heat. Not only does it produce 750 watts of heat, but also can produce all the way up to a 1500 watt heat. So it's got those two separate heating elements, which is going to be great for my son's room. So what I'm going to do is show you what comes in the box real quick, and that is the mounting hardware that they've got, the instruction guide, which does come with a remote, which is really super cool. This being the 50-inch does have two separate bags of these crystals that are going to go in the bottom of this once we unbox it. And then of course this can be mounted either recessed into a wall, or as we're going to be doing it, we're just going to be mounting the backer plate and then just hanging it on the wall. So it will stick out a little less than 4 inches from the wall. This is 50 inches wide and a little less than 4 inches deep and 18 inches high. So it's a slimmer fit design, should fit a lot of great places. You are going to want to make sure that you do have access to a plug, a standard 110 outlet to plug this into, which I've got right here. But let's go ahead and take off the back mounting plate and I'll show you how to get that mounted first. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is remove this piece off of the back, and it's held in there with two screws, one on each side, and then this piece will then drop down and out. This is the piece we're actually going to use to mount on the wall. We're going to do that here in a second. Also, want to go ahead and, as you're doing that, take apart, there's one additional screw down there that will allow this front piece to then slide up and off, and then there will be one electrical piece right here that connects the control board from the back part to the LED panel in the front. We're going to go ahead and disconnect that just so that I can set this to the side for now and get that out of the way. That'll make this piece a little bit lighter and of course allow you access to go ahead and fill this with those rocks once we get it mounted on the wall. So what you're going to do first is make sure that you've got your part on the wall centered where you want it to be. I've gone ahead and marked the center of my wall here, and then you're also going to want to measure where you want the plate to go. I'm going to go ahead and put this one at this height, which is right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and level it out across there to make sure that it's nice and level. We're going to go ahead and use the provided hardware that's here. They do provide you with 4 regular sheetrock type screws as well as the 4 wall anchors. If you're going to run into a stud, you don't need to use those wall anchors, but if you're just going to sheetrock, we're going to be using those. So I'm going to go ahead and put those up here and get this thing mounted right there. Got that mounted in there. This middle one went into a stud. I went ahead and used the provided anchors to put those other ones in there. So this is going to hold everything that it needs to. This is not that heavy. We're going to go ahead and hang it over the top of this right here on this back edge. It just uses that French cleat that basically just hooks right down over the top of that and slides down. And then we're going to put those other screws back in here. That's going to keep it from being able to be lifted off. Now that we've got that hung on the wall, we're going to go ahead and put these little crystals in here. So you've got the tray down. There was 2 little straps, little zip ties that you had to cut off to keep this from coming out. You could take this out if you needed to ever change out anything, but I don't see why you would need to. Go ahead and fill those. Now that we've got those in there, we're ready to go ahead and put this back on there. Now it does just slide in and down, but I'm going to go ahead and have my wife help me get the other side because this is a long one, and it does have this cord. Before we hook that back there, I'm going to have to hold it up there and get that cord hooked back in, and then we'll show you the display. All right, we've got this thing mounted. I'm going to run through some of these and kind of show you what it does. This thing has a lot of functionality, not only on here. I'll show you, you can use this as a touch screen. On the front of this is a touch panel on this, but you also have access to the remote. So everything you can do on the panel here, you can also do with the remote. You have a lot of different settings, like I said. Okay, you got your remote right here.
Okay.
Okay, you got to press and hold one of these top 2 buttons for a few seconds.
Okay.
So if you press this top right button, it's this B. That's going to change the rock colors in the bottom, so you can press and hold the B button for a second. And then you can click through it and select what color you want the bottom rocks to be. So what color would you like the bottom rocks to be?
Pretty much like blue.
Like a light blue?
Red, yeah.
Okay, then the other one over here, if you press and hold this top left one, which is A, that's the flame. And so once that sets, now you can click through the flame. So tell me when you like the flame. We got a yellowish orange color, you got a blue. Well, that looks like no questions. The blue, it looks like a seabed coming up. Okay, you also have the dimmer switch, which is right here in the middle. So if you want it to be dimmer, you can click on the dimmer switch. If you're gonna
that turned it down a lot.
Well, if you're going to go to bed at night or something and just want it really just a little bit in the background, or you can make it brighter like that. Okay, and then if you're wanting to do the speed, you can actually slow down the the flames and make them a little slower if you want. Okay, another thing you do is this left button here is you've got the heater button. So if you turn that on, that's going to turn it on. And it's not going to come out up on top, but here, I don't want you putting a bunch of stuff, blankets and stuff up on top, okay? Because it's going to have to be able to put out the heat out of the middle out here, so you don't want to touch that there. It's got the intake holes here.
Oh my god, that's hot.
Yeah, it's going to put out a lot of heat on there.
Well,
And is that loud or is it pretty quiet?
I mean, it's silent than that thing over there, I guess.
It's quieter than your regular fan.
That's one thing.
Well, it's pretty neat. I like the 3D. I like the 3D flame effect. That's really cool. I like your color combination you picked out.
Yeah. Thank you. Bluesies.
This was a super easy install. Only took a few minutes to get that mounting bracket put on the wall. Once you know where it's going, hanging this thing was a breeze. Filling it up. You know, this tempered glass on the front of this, a lot of nice features involved with there, plenty of stones. Love the versatility of the colors, love the fact that it's quiet. This is a great fireplace, absolutely love it. My kid is absolutely going to love it, and I'm sure that you guys will too.